This assignment required us to think outside the box in order to solve problems for the recruitment firm Hudson. Albert Einstein once said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes on the problem and 5 minutes on the solution." Therefore, it is integral to reframe and reimagine the problem rather than simply analyze it at a surface level in order to extract an appropriate and effective solution. The surface level problems identified by Hudson's candidates include the length of the recruitment process, the number of stages and hurdles in the recruitment process, the impersonality of the process, and a lack of regular communication. Additionally, nearly 60% of survey respondents reported that they would like feedback on a daily or weekly basis, a number that increased to 72% for employees under age 30, according to a 2015 PwC survey. Issues for employers include diversity targets, which will be addressed in our consideration of the edge user, and the improvement of this process will eventually translate into better candidates which will benefit the employers. These surface-level problems are critical to understanding the problem. However, they do not facilitate a comprehensive and thoughtful analysis that will lead to an effective solution. Instead, the use of transdisciplinary methods including competition, swimming in data, chain of undesirable phenomena, process mapping, and process investigation cards allowed the reframing and reimagining of the Hudson brief at the surface level problems associated with it to create a deep new insight and perspective which we could view this problem from. The deep insight which arose from the engagement in these methods was the lack of integration between the components of the multi-stage assessment approach, as they are highly segmented and lack interconnectivity. Addressing this will improve the surface-level problems highlighted by Hudson candidates, as it will increase engagement and regular communication with the organisation, and by doing so, shorten the process in the minds of the candidates, as it is the gaps between the stages that is causing this mentality. Viewing the problem from this angle has guided our creative interpretation and allowed us to formulate a solution.
We used a range of different methods from different disciplines in order to generate a scope of ideas beyond mainstream thoughts. This led us to the understanding we presented in the challenge. Process mapping enabled us to isolate the problem that Hudson is facing and determine the different factors that may link or add to these problems. We identified that the length is necessary to prep candidates, but also give them better opportunities to growth and development activities before they enter the workplace. However, needless to say that the current process can be modified to suit the current climate of candidates. When looking at the technology aspect of recruitment, the main issue was being that it can dehumanize the recruitment process. However, mind mapping enabled us to see that technology can enable interaction and systemic communication that personalizes the process. Feedback was crucial observation that was also made. The process mapping enabled us to determine why feedback is given out, drawbacks to it, and the benefits it can provide for both the employer and employee. Overall, the process mapping helped us to see the bigger picture, which we identified is the future of recruitment agencies.
The swimming in data method card proved extremely useful in further understanding our problem space and allowing us to delve deeper into the analysis and potential solution. The traces of our group activities which are left behind enable us to harness opportunities. The reason we chose this method card was in order to take a step back from the problem and a more generalized approach to the problem space rather than a specific and overly complicated one. By looking back on traces and steps taken to develop the problem space, it opened up the group to ideas of reversing the multi-stage assessment approach which Hudson provided us with. Through this, we took a data walk where we utilised previous discoveries and focused in on the key issue of a lack of engagement within the multi-stage recruitment process and how lengthy it actually is.
When utilising the competition method card, we realised that in a way this multi-stage assessment approach used by Hudson is similar to a competition, more specifically framing the process as a race. Metaphorically speaking, the winners are the successful applicants and the losers are those candidates who do not receive a job offer. When viewing this multi-stage assessment approach as a race, we noticed that between each competition, participants would train and work on ways to improve their performance, and this is what we needed throughout the hiring process to ensure that applicants maintained a level of enthusiasm and continual growth and development. Through this realization, it was made clear that this problem could be solved with continual feedback and ways to ensure that applicants could grow and reach their potential throughout the recruitment process. This strategy in turn would also be effective in decreasing the applicants' impatience between stages and the feeling that the process is too long as they have activities and ways to improve between stages.
The process investigation card encourages us to consider what's already in place and the structures surrounding this, and where there's flexibility for change. We did this by writing down all the steps, writing the subparts, and we looked at the issues. Some of these issues included an emphasis on candidates and a less involved employer, as well as no human interaction until the latest step, and the steps being very segmented. This gave us the inspiration to look further into how we could do our assessment to involve more human interaction and group practices. We believe there needs to be a mindset shift surrounding the process, moving from a linear, rigid stage process to a fluid, interconnected process that considers the employer's needs and candidates' wants. As will be delved into shortly, our solution incorporates the inevitable use of technology, but with a future-ready focus, allowing for human interaction and candidate and employer satisfaction. Candidates will receive feedback from more tailored stages, allowing for clear connect, and ultimately finding the best employees, not only from a standardized perspective, but someone who will fit and adapt in the culture for now and for the future.
Our big idea is to create a more engaging and integrated recruitment process through continual feedback and refinement of the multi-stage assessment process. By doing this, candidates will feel as though the length of the process is shortened through constant engagement, learning, and involvement in a more relevant, inclusive, and integrated process.
So this is how the new method will play out. Stage 1. Initially, it's important that Hudson has a thorough understanding of the organisation's culture and values. As you can see here, a representative from Eastpac Bank is discussing the intricacies of the business with Hudson. Stage 2. The application to the screening stage will remain the same.
Stage 3. Employees submit their resumes as per normal. However, the online assessment stage and video interview stages are made redundant and replaced with an interactive, live candidate experience with other candidates where they respond to a stimulus, such as a business problem. This is designed to promote teamwork and collaboration amongst candidates, which foreshadows what will be required of them in the future. The candidates are also given group feedback from their project's success and failure, which allows them to learn from their mistakes and feel as though the processes are connected. This allows the process to flow and be more integrated.
Stage 4. The next stage is the assessment centre, which will remain the same as there will continue to be panel interviews, group exercises and written exercises. However, the feedback given in this stage will be coupled with the feedback from the previous stage's live candidate experience, which will demonstrate areas of improvement or decline, which will provide a more comprehensive and useful feedback for the candidates, an area which Hudson identified as a pain point for candidates.
Although we have not reduced the number of steps in the process, we have ensured that candidates feel as though the process is shorter as they are given more feedback and are able to continually grow and improve throughout the stage of the recruitment process. The stages will be less segmented and more integrated and connected as they are given feedback throughout the process. Also, the video call ensures that they have human contact and peer feedback from an earlier stage rather than getting feedback from robots, adding to the personalised experience. The video call and stimulus provided will be different for a variety of jobs, and this will ensure that successful candidates are chosen for specific jobs, meaning that Hudson can excel in the role as a recruitment agency.
The edge user is the one who's not normally considered in a design, the one who does not fit into the singular stereotype. The aim is to create a design that incorporates this person but also works for everyone else. The edge user we identified through the methods that we investigated were people who had time for and led busy lives. Specifically, these included single parents, usually with children under the age of 10, and those in current full-time employment that struggle to reach meetings and interviews due to distance and the jobs that they are currently attending. So, how does our solution actually help this edge group? Well, an online group experience allows our users to be connected remotely at a time that suits them best. The solution can tailor to those who may not show the full extent of their skills in a stressful, time-pressured, specific interview environment, or those who may have to withdraw if unable to constantly attend an in-person interview process early on, a time in which they may be applying for many jobs, juggling their current jobs and other commitments. In conclusion, we believe that our solution effectively solves the problems given to us by Hudson Recruitment Agency, but additionally has a future-ready focus, which is able to exist in an advancing technological world while still maintaining an element of human interaction.